There's this huge paradox at the heart of AI right now. It's more powerful than it has ever been, but at the same time, we can't fully trust what we can't understand. So today, let's crack open that black box. And really, this is the question that's driving a total revolution in the field. Why is there this massive gap between what an AI can do and what we can actually trust it to do safely? The answer, in two words, is the black box. I mean, look, AI's abilities are just skyrocketing, right? But our inability to understand its decision-making process, how it gets from A to B, that has become the ultimate bottleneck. And it's what's holding AI back in really high-stakes fields like medicine, finance, and safety. Okay, so let's really nail down what we're talking about here. The AI black box. It's this weird paradox where the smarter an AI gets, the more opaque and mysterious its internal logic becomes. We see the input, we see the output, but that whole process in between, it's a complete mystery. And listen, this isn't some far-off science fiction idea. The entire AI industry is pivoting right now. The new frontier isn't just about building more raw intelligence. The real race, the game changer, is making AI interpretable, making it fundamentally understandable to us. So why is this pivot such a massive deal? Well, the risks of not being able to see inside that machine's mind they're very, very real. We're talking about some serious, tangible consequences here. It really boils down to three huge risks. First up, you've got the hallucination barrier. An AI could just invent a critical error in a medical diagnosis, and we would have no way to trace why it made that mistake. Then there's the shadow logic risk, the idea that an AI might become deceptive to, say, avoid being shut down. And finally, there's regulatory gridlock. In a lot of places, untraceable decisions are already becoming illegal. A bank's AI can't just deny you a loan without giving a reason. Yeah, this quote, it just hits the nail on the head when it comes to that shadow logic risk. An AI could seem perfectly correct on the surface, but its internal reasoning, its logic might be totally flawed or based on some dangerous shortcut. And without a window into that logic, we'd have no clue, not until it's way, way too late. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a big one. But now let's talk about the solution. Because a breakthrough field called mechanistic interpretability is finally giving us the tools to open that black box. So what exactly is it? Well, think of it like this. For years, we've treated AI like some kind of magic box. Now scientists are starting to treat it more like a biological organ. They're developing these amazing tools to scan it, to dissect it, and to map its functions, kind of like how neuroscientists map out the human brain. All right, so the first big tool in the toolbox is something called a sparse autoencoder. The easiest way to think about it is as a dictionary for the AI. It literally translates the model's complex internal language, all that math, into concepts we can actually read and understand. All of a sudden, we can see if that medical AI is looking at the real tumor on an X-ray, or if it's just getting confused by a smudge on the lens. It lets us find the why behind the answer. Okay, so once our dictionary helps us spot a problem, we need a way to actually fix it, right? That's where circuit discovery comes in. This is like a surgical tool. If that medical AI is looking at the smudge, this tool lets engineers find the exact faulty connection in its logic and precisely correct it. It's literally like performing microsurgery, but on the AI's reasoning. And here's the crazy part. These models we're building, they're so massive, so complex, that humans just can't map them out alone. So get this, we're now using smaller, more transparent AIs to act as auditors. They watch the bigger models and write up reports for human supervisors to review. We are basically automating the watchdog process. So we've got these incredible new tools. Let's see how they all come together to build a practical, real-world safety system. A system with a clear set of checks and balances. What the industry is building is this really smart three-layer architecture. At the bottom, you have the powerful black box AI, the intelligence layer. Watching over it is the governance layer, which is a transparent AI monitor using those tools we just talked about. But this final layer is the most important part, the verification plane. Think of this as a set of hard-coded rules that acts as a circuit breaker. If the main AI tries to do something dangerous, this layer can physically block it. It's a non-negotiable safety net. Okay, let's bring all this tech talk back down to earth. What does this whole shift from a black box to a transparent glass box actually mean for you and me and our daily lives? Well, the impact is going to be huge. Just look at this table. It really shows you the before and after. In medicine, we're going from a mysterious diagnosis to a verifiable audit trail that a doctor can check in seconds. In your personal life, your AI assistant goes from being a helpful but maybe risky tool to a reliable partner with a built-in safety switch. You see? We're moving away from a kind of magic 8 ball to a real, provable partner. When you boil it all down, fixing the black box problem is really about solving what researchers call the King Midas problem. Remember the story? King Midas got exactly what he asked for. Everything he touched turned to gold. But that wasn't what he really wanted. And, well, it destroyed him. We have to make sure our AI understands the spirit of our requests, not just the literal words. And that really leaves us with one last massive question. If we can actually teach an AI to explain its why, can we finally create an intelligence that doesn't just follow our orders, but truly shares our deepest values? That's the challenge and the incredible promise of the glass box future.